Hello, lovely anime enthusiasts! Welcome back to CuteeAnimeBook, your go-to channel for heartwarming tales in the world of anime. Today I'm sharing a personal list close to my heart, my favorite top 10 romance anime that will melt your heart. From conflict to connection. Get ready for a journey through anime stories that prove love can conquer adversity and turn conflict into heartwarming connections. Starting off at number 10.
うるさい！俺のクラスに転校って何考えてんだ一体！
近くにいた方が今後何かと便利でしょ？
Who thought getting a tattoo could be this bad? When this guy gets a tattoo, he gets dragged into a war between nations and even makes a hot girl become the transfer student of his school. But turns out this girl's a badass, so she'd rather turn him upside down rather than falling in love with him. But you know how these types of stories go. The two first try to kill each other, and then slowly warm up until they become lovers. Taboo Tattoo is about a boy named Siggy who receives a mysterious tattoo after defeating some thugs. This gets him pulled into a war between a special U.S. Army unit and the Kingdom of Selenistan. They all search for the Power Crests, which are weaponized artifacts which can change the tide of the war and even change the fate of the whole world. Soon Siggy begins to learn the potential of his own power and continues to improve it in order to face the challenges. This has some great hand-to-hand combat scenes as well, so you won't be bored watching this one.
ちょっと経つんだけど、このクラス問題ありなの。ほらやっとるわ。
Here, our girl was living happily until after the bad boy came along. Sena Kurata is in the 6th grade, and she is living the dream. She has a great family, and she is also a star of a TV show that's called Kodomo no Omocha. Everything's going perfect, except there are troubles at her school, and it all comes from the boy called Akito Hayama.
何これ一体ねえねえ。先生あんなの嘘に決まってんだからほっといてさほら。それより
At first, this guy was pretty normal, but as soon as Santa started acting, he just started to be a menace. The worst part is, the other boys in the class like to copy his behavior, so it's total chaos during class. Santa thinks Akito is her arch enemy, so she decides to wage war with him. But you know what that means. Our guy here is pretty charming, so soon our girl is going to fall in love with him. Come on, that's why this anime's on this list after all.
マガノに？
君の昨日の力すごかった。
それがどうした？
ゆえにプライドが傷ついた。
Here is another action romance show you must start watching if you haven't finished it yet. Twin Star Exorcist is about two short fellas going around killing spirits while trying to figure out how love works. If we keep aside the romance elements for a moment, you can see how much great action this show has. Add that to this nice animation and you get a masterpiece. The characters here are built on the usual anime tropes, but they are extremely likable. But what's more interesting than the characters are their interactions with each other. Sometimes it feels goofy, sometimes it's wholesome, and other times you're rooting for both of them. The show starts off pretty lighthearted and then takes some dark and twisted turns that make you wonder if the show was made for kids in the first place. But apart from that, I felt like Twin Star Exorcist held the supernatural elements of the show really well, and it's something you should definitely check out. Title literally screams enemies turned into lovers. The anime takes us into a floating city called Neo Verona. It literally looks like something from a fairy tale. However, don't let this fool you because this anime is packed with action and suspense. It's totally nothing like what Shakespeare made.
そんな態度はないんじゃないか？せっかく助けてやったのに。
助けてやった？さすがに貴族様は偉そうだ。
何？
助けるんだったらさっきのあの娘を助けてやればよかったんだ。
This time, Juliet protects her people while calling herself the Red Whirlwind, which sounds like something from My Hero Academia. She falls in love with our boy, but just like the famous story, their families are out to kill each other. You might think it's cheesy, but you're wrong in so many ways because this is actually a really good anime. The story will break your expectations and the characters are well written. Now, if you're into politics, action, plus romance, then Romeo x Juliet is the anime for you. This isn't the final title, it's actually Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World, which is really long. Again, it's all about two nations. The other's racist and hunting astral mages, while the other helps them, and since then, they've been at war. After freeing a witch, Iska was imprisoned, and he was forced to hunt the Ice Calamity Witch to be free again. Both Iska and the witch joined forces to bring peace to the world and be lovey-dovey while doing it.
ならこれで。
何か言おうかしら。
注文決まった？
This series is basically 86, but they have swords and magic. The opening and ending themes were really on point, and even if the plot was somehow slow, it still did a good job. You could clearly see the character development, and there are some tropes that you might find in most anime, so won't be totally unfamiliar to you.
泣くなよ。
泣くわよ。秋村とは本当にずっと仲良かったんだから。少なくとも私はそう思って。
It's pretty easy to think why vampires will become enemies and then become your lover, right? At first they're like, oh, that girl's really pretty, I should drink her blood. Then they're like, oh, I'm dating this girl, I should protect her with my life. Devil's Line is a Tokyo ghoul with vampires, and no, the main girl isn't like Toka. Here we follow a 22-year-old university student named Tsukasa Tira who learns the existence of vampires when her friend turns out to be a vampire. While trying to discover more about it, she finds CuteeAnimeBook and soon finds herself getting attracted to the boy. These two soon develop a romance, and our vampire boy should rethink about drinking Tsukasa's blood. If you love some Twilight drama with some overpowered vampires and innocent girls, then this is the show for you.
名前はさくら。よっしゃさくら、そこ立ってみ。
Let's see what we have on the shoujo side when it comes to enemies and lovers. Cardcaptor Sakura tells of the story of Sakura Kinomoto, who finds a pack of cards, loses them only to later learn their potential. All of these cards contain abilities and are dangerous to be left alone, and she is soon assigned to recollect these cards.
私にカードキャプターなんて無理だってば。カードキャプター、クローカードの捕獲者。かっこいいやないか。
This is a pretty old anime, so you'll have to bear with the old art style, but this is pretty much one of the best shoujo anime ever made. If you're tired of shoujo anime weaving romance subplots out of nowhere, then this series will be refreshing to watch. There is depth between the relationships of the main couple, and the anime takes time to develop both the characters. The only flaw here is the length of the anime series. 70 episodes? That's way too much. Who hasn't heard of this anime? At the top of the list is Kami-sama Kiss. We follow our girl Nanami, who, just like us, is struggling as a teenager. But she has help. We present another tsundere boy, Tomoe. Trust me, in this genre, there is either a tsundere or yandere, or both in every show.
たく使えん娘だな。
何よ、出てったんじゃないの？
お前に土地神など務まるものか。値を上げる前にとっとと家に帰ったらどうだ？
帰るとこなんてないよ。
The chemistry between the two characters is actually really good. There are a lot of common anime tropes, but the side characters are just fun to watch. The plot is great as well, which is why it's number 1, and more or less has the same vibes of Fruit Basket. And if you like the male MC, well, like it or not, you're a furry. Plain and simple. So what are you waiting for? Live the perfect anime romance fantasy by watching these shows instead of being sad.
どうしよう。なんでこんなに怒っているんだろう。ほら、乾いたよ。ほかほかだよ。
So you don't want entire countries fighting. Well, here's a show where it's just two people, and they're as deadly as anyone can be. In this show, Chateau Dankworth meets Ryang Ha, and they're both talented killers. Ryang Ha took an interest in Chateau and started helping her in her missions. Now, she has to kill him, but instead, they just go out. Things get heated not only in battle, but between both of them.
おかえり。狭そうなアパートだね。駅も遠いし古いし。
なんでいるんですか?
Just like Black Cat, Crochet is full of action, and even though the story is simple, there are a lot of twists and mysteries that are revealed along the way. There are also some moments that make you laugh, so it's basically all in one. It's like a refreshing take on romance that you probably haven't seen yet, so check it out. Nope. And number one on our list is a show about vampires. Because what's better than a vampire and a human who hate each other than love each other? Okay, let's see what we have here. We have vampires, pandemics, and a more perverted genre d'arc. Here, we have vampires who are killed by mysterious disease and a human doctor who plans to find a cure. The girl who wants to kill our doctor is actually a vampire herself, but once she tastes the blood of our main character, she becomes obsessed with him.
いけない。ほうけている暇はないわ。この茶番もあともう少しで終わる。私がちゃんと奴への好意を伝えきれれば。練習をしておこう。
I love the subtle romance in this show, but what makes it interesting than anything else is the effort the writers put into the plot and world building. The world and the political hierarchy of this world is fleshed out much bigger, and you can feel the whole story arc is progressing into something much bigger. If you haven't watched this anime, then go watch this right now, or I'll send Jane to suck out your blood. There you have it, my fellow anime lovers. My favorite top 10 romance anime that will melt your heart and warm your soul. Which one touched your heart the most? Share your thoughts and favorite anime romances in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all things anime here on CuteeAnimeBook. Until next time, keep spreading love and joy in the anime universe. Stay cute and stay tuned.